This story today, I brought my wife Fern in. Fern's been with me. We've been married 34 years. And people need to hear what she has to say in regards to this, because when you hear this story, a lot of people are going to say, how's that possible? I don't know that I believe it, because I didn't believe it. But it's a continuation from the day that I had the individual who threatened to turn my desk upside down, also threatened to kill my wife and children, and threatened to kill me. That day at noon, when I called home, back then we did not have cell phones. We had caller IDs. Some of you are old enough to remember them little boxes that we attached to a phone, right? And you could see who called. And that was, oh man, that was the hero of the day. But I remember at noon I called home from the office here at Door of Hope. And when you heard my voice, you were like, Jason, what's going on? Now, tell the people what you told me then.
I wasn't sure I should pick up the phone because the caller ID said Community Devil, and the C was capitalized and the D was capitalized, and it was spelled DEVIL for Community Devil.
And I remember telling you, what? I don't believe it. And just as many of you probably are saying, what? And so I said, well, I'll check it out when I get home. So when I got home that evening, I go to the caller ID and I go back through the calls, and sure enough, there it is at 12 o'clock, 12:01 or 2, whatever it was, Community Devil. And I'm like, what in the world is this all about? And so for the next week, every time, we just thought it would go away, okay? But for the next week, every time I called home, you would be like, it's still saying the same thing. And I'm calling from my desk phone here at Door of Hope. And I'm like, so one evening, we gathered around because our children were young. And I just simply, finally, I told you, I said, this isn't good, because my children are young. Landon would have been about 7 or 8. And I said, if they pick up the phone and it's daddy on the other end, and the caller ID says Community Devil, this is not going to come out very good. And it's not, I'm not a representative of the kingdom of darkness. I represent the kingdom of light. And I'm not the community devil. I'm the community life giver. I represent the healer and Jesus Christ. And we didn't even so much pray over it. We just gathered around and we just simply said, Lord, this needs to stop. And in the name of Jesus, whatever is manipulating the phone line, that it would be straightened up or align itself to reflect Door of Hope and not what interfered. And you know what? The next day, when I called home, it changed, right? Mm-hmm. I called home, and what came up on the caller ID?
Door of Hope Ministries.
And I'm like, serious? So we tested that. And it's been now 18, 19 years. And it's still Door of Hope. Of course, now we got cell phones.